Hello friends, welcome back to the mothership. Today we are smoking up these delicious chicken bacon pesto bombs. Let's get started. Our first step here is really to clean up the thighs a bit. These came with a bone in them, so I pulled the bone out and then just kind of squared them up. You can buy boneless, that works too, but these are usually a heck of a lot cheaper. And then we're just going to quickly dry rub them and let them dry out a bit while we make our pesto. For this recipe, I'm just going to do some olive oil on the outside. And then for a rub, I'm just going with something simple: salt, pepper, garlic, a little paprika. I'll have all the ingredients down below, but let's just get this coated up. And then I'm going to put them on a wire rack and let them just kind of dry out a bit. Making a pesto is super easy. We're going to take a cup of fresh basil leaves, 2 tablespoons of pine nuts, 2 garlic cloves, and we're going to pulse this, and then we're going to slowly start to add in olive oil just to get to the mixture we're looking for. Then last second we're going to add in our Parmesan cheese, and then salt and pepper to taste. Super easy and delicious. Now that we have our pesto and our chicken is seasoned, it's time for us to roll up these suckers. Just as a side note, whenever you're picking your bacon that you want to use to smoke something on the grill, I always try and find the cheapest stuff I can find. In general, that's because the stuff that's going to be cheaper is a lot thinner. Thicker cut bacon, once you wrap it, it's going to take longer to cook, and your inside meat or whatever you have inside is probably going to be overcooked. So the thinner the better. That generally allows things to line up pretty well when we're using a smoker. Let's get these rolled up. Now to roll these up, basically all we're going to do is we're going to take our chicken. We're going to do skin side out. I'm going to put a little bit of pesto on the inside, get it nice and coated in there. And of course I spilled. I'm going to take some of our mozzarella and we're going to try and roll it up as best we can, kind of into a little log. Then we're going to take a piece of bacon, and we'll probably end up doing about 2 or 3 pieces of bacon per roll. And we're just going to wrap it. It takes a little bit of if this is your first time wrapping something in bacon, it does have a little bit of a learning curve to get it on there right, but it doesn't have to be super pretty unless you're doing some sort of competition. This is going to get cooked in the backyard, guys. Who cares? So I'm just going to do one going the opposite direction. Once the fat starts rendering out of this bacon and it goes on the smoker, it's going to harden up pretty well and you won't have to worry about it. So let's do one going this way. I usually give it a little squeeze, and that looks good to me. So this is just going to go back in my fridge, all of them, until we get the smoker ready and we actually throw these things on the pit. Our smoker is now up to temp at 225 degrees in pro mode. We have our bombs on the top rack. I'm actually going to put a drip pan underneath here just to not get my smoker to be completely disgusting. And our goal here is probably about 2 hours. We're looking for maybe 160 degrees, and then we're going to bump them up just to really crisp up the bacon. So at this point, set it and forget it, and we'll come back in about 2 hours. 2 hours later, and our chicken has reached an internal temperature of 160 degrees. At this point, I'm bumping the temperature up to 275, also in pro mode, and the goal here is to let the chicken get to maybe 170, 175. The goal is really to get the exterior of the bacon to get nice and crispy. We could eat them right now, but we want some crispy bacon. So let's let it keep doing its thing and monitor it, and we'll pull them when they're ready to go. After letting these chicken bombs roast at 275, they're ready to be pulled, and now it's time to see how we did. They're looking really good. The bacon is a nice crispy exterior. I can see a little bit of the cheese is starting to come out, but all in all, it looks like it's going to be delicious, and I can't wait anymore. So let's give it a chomp. Whew. This is a warm one, guys. So I'll be honest with you guys. I actually did this recipe once before, and it just didn't have enough seasoning where I wanted to share it with you all. So this is the second time we're cooking it, and I have to say this is actually exactly the way I envisioned it. This is delicious. It's really good. Obviously, it's not super healthy, but it's still chicken, right? So the significant other wanted me to cook up some chicken, so I threw bacon on it. This is a great cook, guys. It's a good weekend cook, or weekday cook even. Honestly, it took a couple hours, but It's not nearly as long as doing some of the longer cooks of red meat. If you guys enjoyed this video, if you got anything out of this, if you like wrapping stuff in bacon, tell me what your favorite thing is down below. As always, welcome to Mothership Dudes, and cook something fantastic.